Time. It feels so real. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow isn't here yet. The past is a done deal. But Seth says that's not how it works at all. He says time is simultaneous. Past, present, and future all exist now. Alara, help me understand this without my brain melting.
Oh, I completely get it. It's a massive paradigm shift. But to ground us right away, I want to read a quote verbatim from our sources for today's deep dive. In Seth Speaks, he states, basically time is simultaneous. Present beliefs can indeed alter the past.
Wow. Alter the past. Just like that.
Right. And he expands on this in The Unknown Reality, saying everything in the universe exists at one time simultaneously. So today, our mission is to explore this exact model of time. We're going to see how deeply understanding it can, actually free you from the prison of your personal history.
I really need that because, sequence feels flawlessly real to me. Like, I remember my coffee this morning, but I have no idea what I'm having for dinner tonight. If it's all happening now, why can't I remember dinner?
That is the million-dollar question. And Seth's diagnosis of this, it all comes down to the physical brain. The brain is not designed to show you the entirety of reality. It's actually a filter.
Okay, a filter.
Yeah, our physical senses act as limiting valves. They force us to perceive this massive, multidimensional reality just a tiny fraction at a time. It's kind of like a vinyl record.
Oh, I love the record analogy. Walk me through that.
So if you hold a vinyl record, the entire symphony, every single note, the start, the climax, the finish, it all exists on that disc simultaneously.
Right, it's all just sitting there carved into the plastic.
Exactly. The whole song is there at once. But the needle, which represents your present moment awareness, it can only play one tiny groove at a time. So as the needle travels, it creates the illusion of sequence.
It creates the experience of time passing.
Yes. But the music itself isn't traveling from past to future. The whole thing is just resting on the turntable. Your past is not gone. It exists as a living, changeable pattern within your larger self. And your future isn't empty either.
It's just a different groove on the record.
Right? It exists as probabilities that you are constantly shaping through your present beliefs. This is why Seth emphasizes that the point of power is in the present.
Because the present is where the needle is touching the record.
Exactly. Your present beliefs ripple outward. They literally change your experience of the past, and they shape which probable future you are going to actualize.
Wait, okay, let me make sure I'm really grasping this. So, when I heal a childhood wound by changing my belief about it now, am I actually changing the past?
Yes. You are changing your relationship to that past event, which changes its influence. At deeper levels of consciousness, the past itself is altered. This is the profound healing Seth offers.
That's staggering. It completely dismantles traditional therapy, doesn't it? Where we just dig up the past to find out why we're broken today.
Oh, absolutely. Seth actually warns against that. He says if you go digging into your past while holding the present belief that you are a victim, you're just using your present point of power to reinforce that trauma.
You're just highlighting the bad grooves on the record.
That's a perfect way to put it. Your present beliefs act like a hypnotist. They sit at the exact intersection where your non-physical spirit touches physical matter.
And they give marching orders to the rest of reality.
Yes, to your entire personality. If you believe the world is fundamentally hostile, your brain acts like a radio dial tuned to hostility. You literally block out signals of kindness or success because they don't match your current frequency.
So if I'm holding on to a belief that my childhood was just entirely traumatic, I'm actively filtering out any joyful memories I might have had.
Right. You make them neurologically invisible.
But if time is simultaneous, if the past and future are happening right alongside me, how does that affect things like reincarnation? Because I always thought of it as, a sequence. I was a farmer, I died, now I'm a podcaster, a deep dive host.
Exactly. The standard chronological model falls apart. Under Seth's framework, those lives are not sequential. The self living in 1450 BC and the self in 2050 AD, they're happening right now.
My brain is definitely starting to melt a little.
It's a lot to take in. Seth compares it to the psychological phenomenon of multiple personalities, like the three faces of Eve.
Oh, right, where one person has distinct, separate identities.
Yeah, and even when one personality is dominant and talking to the doctor, the others haven't ceased to exist. They're still present just beneath the surface. Our multidimensional self operates the same way.
So my ancient Egyptian farmer self is just operating on a different channel right now.
Exactly. And because you are all connected through this larger entity in the present moment, you share resources. You aren't being punished for a past life's sins because that life is happening concurrently.
So karma isn't a cosmic ledger of punishment.
Not at all. It's a dynamic interaction. You might feel a sudden burst of courage today because you're drawing it from a counterpart self who is mastering courage in a different timeline.
Wow. We're actively cooperating with these other versions of ourselves. But to bring this back to changing the past, how does this actually look in practice?
Well, let's look at Jane Roberts herself, the woman who channeled the Seth material. She experienced this alchemy firsthand. Jane had a notoriously difficult relationship with her mother.
Right, from what I've read in the sources, it was a very heavy, painful dynamic.
It was. And for years, she felt deeply victimized by her childhood. But through Seth's teachings, she learned to apply this concept of simultaneous time. She started changing her present beliefs about that relationship.
So she stopped tuning her radio dial to the victim frequency.
Exactly. She began to view her mother not as an abuser, but as a soul who had agreed to play a really challenging role for Jane's own growth.
That takes a lot of self-awareness to make that shift.
It really does. But she found compassion. And as she shifted her present perspective, her point of power, the emotional charge of the past literally dissolved.
She wasn't haunted by it anymore.
No, she wasn't. She had, in a very real sense, changed her past. And I want to be clear here. This wasn't denial. It wasn't toxic positivity where you just paste a smile over trauma.
Right, because toxic positivity is just suppressing the feeling. You're still in conflict.
Exactly. What Jane did was a profound alchemical shift enabled by understanding simultaneous time. She literally changed the neuronal and cellular memory of those events by altering her present belief.
Because the past is as malleable as the future?
Yes. The events of your history are actively shifting based entirely on what you're thinking right now.
So how does the listener actually do this? How do we pivot from being a victim of linear time to actually wielding this point of power?
Seth offers a very specific, beautiful technique. Let's call it healing a memory.
Okay, I'm ready.
For anyone listening, bring to mind a past memory that still carries some emotional charge. It could be sadness, anger, shame, regret. It doesn't have to be massive trauma, just something that stings a little.
Got it.
Close your eyes. See that younger version of yourself in that moment. Now imagine your present-day self wiser, more compassionate, knowing what you know now, stepping right into that scene.
Okay, so I'm bringing my present point of power directly into that simultaneous past.
Exactly. Place a gentle hand on your younger self's shoulder. Say to them, silently, "You are safe, you are loved, we made it through, thank you for being strong."
Wow. Just hearing you say that shifts the energy.
It does, doesn't it?
But
Notice if the feeling around the memory shifts, even slightly. This is present power-changing past influence. Seth is very explicit about this mechanism. He says, the past is not a done deal. It is a living part of your present.
a living part of your present. That completely reframes how we view regret. If it's a living part of the present, we can interact with it.
We can negotiate with it. We can soothe it. We are not trapped by it.
And the text talks about how this actually changes things on a cellular level, right?
Yes. The text describes how present beliefs send electrical and energetic signals backward in time. Seth talks about hypnosis experiments where people are convinced they're master painters.
Oh, I read that part, where they wake up and can suddenly paint brilliantly.
Right. And Seth explains that the unified present belief sends a shock wave backward through the probability field. It alters the cellular memory in the past to effectively install the practice they never physically did.
It's like teaching your past nervous system new tricks from the present moment. That is unbelievable.
It really is. The biology conforms to the present belief, regardless of linear time.
So if the past is that fluid and our biology is that responsive, this must apply to our bodies and our health today, too.
Oh, absolutely. This ties into what Seth calls biological precognition.
Biological precognition. Okay, let's unpack that.
Well, if the past isn't fixed, the future isn't predetermined either. We exist in a cosmic web of probabilities, and your physical body, your actual cells and chromosomes, are not logged in linear time.
They possess their own consciousness.
Yes, and they are precognitively aware of the probable futures you are currently pulling towards yourself.
Wait, so my cells can essentially see the future?
They sense the probable future you are aiming for, based on your current beliefs, and they start altering your present biology to prepare for it. The future requirement reaches back to alter the present.
That is So if I decide to climb a mountain next year, my cells start building stamina today based on that future probability.
Precisely. It's a biological feedback loop.
That makes me realize how vital it is to monitor what we're focusing on. If I'm sitting around constantly terrified of getting sick, my cells are precognitively preparing for that illness.
You're tuning the radio dial to sickness, and the body obeys. This is why Seth gives a very practical exercise for this.
Oh, the 5-minute exercise.
Yes, but let's actually tailor it as a specific 24-hour exercise for the listener today, building on that memory technique we just discussed.
Okay, I love actionable steps. What do we do?
Over the next 24 hours, I want you to choose one small, emotionally charged memory. Do the healing, a memory visualization for just 2 to 3 minutes.
Just 2 or 3 minutes. We don't need to sit there for an hour digging into our psyche.
No, please don't. Don't force a big emotional release. Just gently offer your past self present-day compassion. Notice any subtle shift in how the memory feels afterward.
Just feeling that shift is the proof, isn't it?
It is. It's the beginning of liberating yourself from linear time. You are proving to your own nervous system that the past is malleable.
I feel a profound sense of hope from this. The idea that the past is not a life sentence. We aren't just the sum of our traumas trudging toward an inevitable future.
We are the architects. We are sitting at the control panel, and the present moment is the steering wheel.
It is incredibly liberating. It really feels like getting the key to a prison cell. I didn't even know I was locked inside.
That is exactly the goal of this material, to show you the door is already unlocked.
And there's so much more to this, isn't there? We've talked about time, but what about the actual fabric of the events we experience?
Oh, we are just getting started. Next time, we go behind the scenes of physical reality. Seth describes Framework 2, the creative matrix from which all events emerge. We'll learn how to drop pebbles into Framework 2 and trust the unfolding.
I cannot wait for that. It's going to be another mind bender. Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. Remember, the ink on your history isn't dry. You hold the pen right now.